You've seen high bars and low bars, but there's no bar like Wendy's. Super Bar. It's all the Italian, Mexican, and salad you can eat, plus a new dinner deal that just can't be beat. Pizza with sausage, pepperoni, and mozzarella cheese. And Pepsi. Order one and the refills are free. Get all you can drink and eat weekends and after 4 p.m. every day of the week. Wendy's, the best burgers in the business and a whole lot more.
Win the most with TV hosts. Complete listings, exciting stories, cable stations too, and starting now, the TV Host Lucky Number Contest. 8 fantastic prizes every week this winter. TVs, VCRs, electronics, jewelry, and are you ready? A TV Host Caribbean cruise. You're gonna shake those February blues. Get your lucky number in TV Host or participating merchants. Then match your winning number and you go to the Caribbean in February. Win the most. TV Host.
Puffs.
Puffs are softer when you wake up, softer when you blow, softer when you're sneezing or when you're on the go. Puffs are made to be softer, to be nicer to your nose.
Puffs, with softer fibers outside and strong ones inside. So Puffs are softer than the leading brands. Strong, too.
For all the times you need them, it's really nice to know Puffs are made to be softer, to be nicer to your nose.
Puffs, they're nicer to your nose.
This is Channel 21, WHP-TV, Harrisburg, York.
As many of you already know, and as all the rest can plainly see by looking at me right now, our program today on young hate mongers came to an unexpectedly violent conclusion. But because we believe it's important to expose the activities of these racist, anti-Semitic groups and to subject them to our scrutiny and our scorn, we're going to bring you the program in its entirety. Parents, please be advised that because of the violence and some of the language it contains, this program is probably not appropriate for small children. Thank you. Hey. Thanks. Our guests that you'll meet today are truly hate-filled. They are self-described racists, white supremacists, Nazi lovers, and they admit to resorting to violence if they think it's necessary to get their hate-filled message across. But who are their real victims? Take a look at this man's face. His name is William Stump. And he, his wife, and their little baby were attacked by 5 violent skinheads just a few days ago here in New York City. Let me just say that we tried to bring you this show a few weeks ago, but because their hatred begets hatred in others, our guests, the skinheads and their allies, were themselves attacked outside our studio by an angry mob of Jewish radicals. Now, since we refuse to be censored by them or by anybody, and because we feel exposure will weaken the following these racists enjoy, today you will hear from these angry young men. Meet John Metzger of the White Aryan Resistance Youth. He says that whites must learn to keep themselves separate from the evil blacks and Jews. Bob Hike. He's the director of the American Front. Although he's got some hair on his head, he's a skinhead in heart, and he believes that Adolf Hitler and the Nazis were heroes. Michael Palish, of the Skinheads of the National Resistance. He says our country has been invaded by the Hispanics. Raped and deceived by the Jews, and maligned and fornicated on by the blacks. These people really believe those perverted statements. We'll find out the meaning behind their message, if there is one. And we'll meet some people who say that our guests are pathological misfits. Truly dangerous young men. Young racists. Are these angry young men merely looking for attention? Or do they represent something much more dangerous? That's our focus on this edition of Geraldo. Thank you. There has been racial hatred and there have been hate mongers since time immemorial. In recent years, they have gotten younger and their acts apparently have become more and more violent. This month marks the 50th anniversary of Kristallnacht. It was the beginning of the Nazis' reign of terror against the Jews in Europe. We bring you this show today to remind us of that past and to bring us up to date on what's happening in the present. They say that sunlight is the best disinfectant. So that's our goal today.
You know, skinhead scene was started back in the 60s, you know, and it's really racial oriented. You know, we're white racists, and we believe in hard work, we believe in the family, and we believe in fighting for our race, and we'll defend it even to the death.
These young men are the next generation, heir apparents to the more mature neo-Nazi groups, reputed to be killing, robbing, and committing other acts of violence across this country.
He ain't got a hook nose anymore.
Though they are reportedly small and far between, some are so threatening. Former FBI Director William Webster said of one group, they are more dangerous than the KKK, more dangerous than this.
I'm here to hear no more. Let's have white culture. Let's have white America. Let's have a place for our children to be raised.
For every group that hates, there seems to be an equally menacing group that hates them. And sadly, much of this hate comes forth in the name of the Lord.
America is cursed because we've allowed these Antichrist Jews into our midst.
We need our truth. We couldn't be prouder. And if you can't hear us, we'll shout a little louder.
Who are these people who are so passionate about their hate, so ready to be as violent as they feel necessary, to fight against those who would have a different social order?
Now, if you're in a situation where the enemy, whether it's the Nazis or people breaking into your home or whoever it may be who want to harm you,
Mordecai Levy, who you'll soon be meeting in our studio, heads the New York City chapter of the Jewish Defense Organization. It's a spin-off of the older, more extreme Jewish Defense League. Mordecai's group legally trains members in the use of these high-powered weapons, which he says have never had to be fired against an enemy. They seem nice enough guys, but if you or I aggressively defied their declared beliefs, they would handle it by any means necessary, including violence. In the new movie Betrayed, an FBI infiltrator played by Deborah Winger learns that nice guys can hate just as violently as anyone else.
Well, if we don't fight back, they'll take it all away from us, the whole country. Jew boy judges and bankers and politicians with the nigger police and Orientals.
All these people with guns, Shorty.
Yeah, I know it. I don't like it either. Hell, I have to close my eyes every time I pull the trigger.
He has to close his eyes every time he pulls the trigger. Now, that statement comes from a movie, but you had better believe that there are people out there, perhaps right here in our studio today, who freely admit they believe that sentiment. But first meet William and Marianne Stump and their baby. They were brutally attacked just a few days ago by 5 violent skinheads. You'll hear this story in a minute. John Metzger, the director of the White Aryan Resistance Movement, Bob Hike, the director of the American Front, and Michael Palish, the director of the Skinheads of the National Resistance. But first, let me hear from the victims. Bill, how did you get that shiner in your face? How'd you break your rib? I know you have.
Well, the rib broke last night because the hospital didn't find a crack in it. And last night it finally broke. But with the face, it was down in the pair train when I turned my head when he laid, one of the guys with the crew cuts, skinheads, yelled, and 3 more flew up through the path.
What did he yell, Bill?
I don't even know what he was saying. It's just some weird noise he made. 3 came up the stairs. I turned and looked at him as I was picking up the carriage with her. And the guy that I first met, you know, saw us in the train, came up on the side of me and just hit me. He says a bottle. This is what he told the police, that he did hit me with a bottle. But, you know, the impact came from here down. And there's some facial bones up here broke.
5 of them.
5 of them.
Skinheads.
Was it white
Excuse me a second, John. John, excuse me, John. Marianne, were these guys shouting Nazi slogans? What were they saying? You tell us.
Well, when we first came over to them, they had said something to me, but I wasn't paying attention. And he had asked them what they said. And next thing they said, don't you believe in the white supremacy? Aren't you German? And then they gave the, you know, the Heil Hitler sign.
And said, don't you believe in beating on niggers? No offense to some of the people, but that's exactly what he said.
What'd you respond?
Tom, I don't believe in that. And then when he says, aren't you German, don't you believe in your German race? And I says, I'm German, and I am. And as far as I know, I don't never heard of this. And then he gave me the Sea House sign, and I told him, you know, you guys are full, you don't even know what you're talking about. And that's when I approached the stairs, and that's when he started ripping off his shirt, laid out a call, 3 came up, and that's when he sucker punched me with a bottle, as far as he says.
So what was he trying to do, Marion? Was he trying to recruit your husband, you, into their movement? What do you think?
Possibly.
But you have no doubt that he was bringing up Nazi slogans.
Right.
Saying, aren't you German?
Yeah.
Don't you believe in hating this group or that group?
Yes.
How'd you react to that?
Well, a lot of times you hear that, you know. You constantly hear racial remarks all the time. So it's like after a while you get used to it.
Isn't that a sad statement?
Yeah.
A sad commentary. So how do you feel about the guys who not only busted you up pretty good, but also made statements having to do with Nazism and hatred?
Well, I don't consider them as guys. Personally, I consider them as lowlife, really, because anybody sit there and say they're for America and they're Americans. As far as I remember in school, the first Americans were the American Indian. And America came and was formed by Americans, and Americans were formed from all parts of the world. When everybody united from all different parts of the world, they made this what they call today America. So there wasn't no... So back then, there wasn't no colors or anything in disgrace, if anything. The only color in the beginning, if you want to consider true Americans, is the American Indians. As far as I'm considered, they were the true Americans. We are the Americans.
Tough luck, they lost it. White man came over and came rolling in and took it over. Too bad.
Hold it, Bill. Let me be in charge.
Rhodesia, all white, you know.
Bob Hike, right? Bob Hike. You're a skinhead. Your organization is a neo-Nazi group.
No, no.
You believe in clashing and bashing, right? Going out bashing is sort of...
Attack us all you want. You're not going to get anywhere.
May I
Well, then
say...
speak your mind.
Hold it.
We will.
Bashing is defined in your publication as groups of you going out hunting...
In my publication?
Other groups.
In my publication?
Well, it's actually
I was attacked by
John
the
Zaval's publication.
People, you know, just like,
come on,
just
guys.
like the communists that are in this group right now.
How do you justify attacking a white man?
Right.
I can't justify it.
Hold it. We got a long show. Everyone's going to have their chance.
I don't need to justify it because I did not do it, and none of my people didn't do it. And people with political beliefs such as mine would have done that. We don't do that kind of thing. We don't walk around the streets just beating on anybody. We don't go up and spew political beliefs of somebody. If they don't agree with us, we don't beat them up. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's not the way to do things, obviously.
First of all, I like to say I'm a Jewish skinhead, and second of all, you want to bet. And second of all, I like to know why you have only white power up there, and why don't you have non-racist skinheads up there?
Show's not about racist.
The funny thing is, out of those 5 guys, right? They're talking about the white supremacy. This is what they're talking to me. One was Jewish, one is Irish. By their names, you can see one was Hellenstein, you know what I'm saying?
A bunch of hypocrites.
That's exactly what they are. I mean, anybody sit there, and it wasn't no waiting for no train. I mean, you got 3 guys downstairs by the train, and 2 standing upstairs.
Of course, this is the only crime that happened in the city, by the way.
It doesn't mean...
Do white people get hurt?
Wait, hold on.
Do white people get hurt?
Let me ask you.
What? May I ask that?
According to law enforcement, skinheads recently have been involved in activities. I mentioned bashing. You say you don't condone it. Okay, let's say you don't condone it. What about the desecration of synagogues?
If anything, they should be paying us not to do it.
What are you doing? Wait.
I personally told my people at Crystal Night that's coming up November 10th not to even go out at all because I don't want to see us get a bad name. Because for one thing, they're going to be out there with all their lights on because they're so scared of us. And for another thing, I don't want any bad rep for any of these groups. We're trying to turn these people into decent people. Matter of fact, all of our people right now...
Do you believe Bob Hike in the desecration of synagogues?
No. It's a waste of good American paint.
So I smoke pot, so what's up?
So you're a drug fiend, so that's your problem. We don't.
Recently in California, excuse me. Recently in California, a group of skinheads, racist skinheads, slit the throat of a young Hispanic woman. They wanted to make a point and to scare minority people. Do you endorse that activity?
Listen, let's get to the real issues here.
Yes, sir,
why are you,
John?
Kirby, why are you beating around the bush, Jerry? Look at, Jerry King. That was your former name, wasn't it?
It wasn't, and I really recommend that you don't push me too hard.
Oh, come on, sir. Hey, do it if you need to.
Okay, let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Bad habits are so hard to break. Even though I love my soft scrub cleanser, I've always hung on to this powder for those hardcore stains. But now, I've got new soft scrub with Clorox bleach. It's as tough as any powder on stains, but it's as gentle as soft scrub on everything else. So which one will I hang on to? Bye-bye powders.
Soft Scrub and Soft Scrub with Clorox bleach wipe out the need for powders.
The new Q106, your station for the most music and the most winning. Listen to win with the new Q106 payphone. Thousands of dollars won and thousands more to come. Punch in and win with the new Q106 prize vault, the most cash ever. And listen for the new Q106 pledge. 10 years of the most music and the most winning on the station you grew up with but never outgrew.
The most music, the new Q106.
Here at New York's Peacock Cafe, gourmet coffee lovers are greeted with the aroma of freshly ground coffee. Today, we're secretly replacing their usual coffee with dark, sparkling Folgers crystals. Will it be rich enough?
It's a smooth aroma. The aroma says that it will be a good cup of coffee.
It's Folgers crystals.
It tastes like freshly brewed coffee.
Folgers crystals. Coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest gourmet coffee houses. And now, get Folgers crystals' new Freshness Pack. It's light, unbreakable plastic that keeps the coffee inside incredibly fresh.
It will hurt if I swallow. It will hurt if I swallow. It will hurt if I... Mommy!
When your throat hurts, Chloraseptic works on contact. Because only Chloraseptic has the power of phenol to penetrate nerve endings and stop sore throat pain fast.
More juice, please.
Chloraseptic is fast relief.
In the heat of the moment, I realized that it must be awfully confusing to you, the audience, because these guys look like these guys over here and look like the fellows on the stage. Now these skinheads or skullheads or whatever you call them support the three fellows representing the three admittedly racist groups. The front row here consists of, come on, give me a break. Consists of skinhead groups that do not support the racist philosophy of those on the panel. All right. No.
Clap for the drum pushers.
Wait. Here. Wait, hold it. What?
Oh, what are you saying? They were
Original
rich?
skinheads were white working class. If
So
you
you
are not
disagree
white
with what he
working
said, so
class, you
you're saying not
cannot
true
be a
for it.
skinhead by the definition.
By whose definition?
Just the way it's been since the 60s. There were no black, there's no such thing as a non-white skinhead.
They were rude boys, not
Black skinhead, then I got to get to the Nazis.
The first skinheads were Jamaican rude boys. That's where the star came from. The star came from mods. You guys are fakers, all right?
Oh, we're fake.
You're neo-Nazis. Why don't you just go ahead and say you're neo-Nazis, right? You're lying to everybody. You're fake.
Hey, yo.
Define a
You're not
Wait,
national.
are you?
Do
you believe?
You don't even know what that means.
Okay. Who wants to speak?
I'll tell you what we believe in.
Good.
We have a big problem, okay? We're two fronts. We're fighting a civil war between our own people. Racially conscious white people need to preserve their heritage and culture. That's the first problem. Wait a minute. The second problem is we're going after the United States government full force. They are our number one enemy.
Back up.
And we're going after them because they cause us problems.
Wait, back up to the first part.
I want to get that straight, first of all.
I don't...
Blacks, you guys don't really fit in. You're not in our agenda. That's what I'm saying. So don't feel like we're going to hurt you.
We don't want to fight.
We don't care.
That's what we're trying
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
We want to get away from the drug
what do you want to do?
abortion, drug
What do you want to
mixing.
do?
What I'd like to see?
Yeah.
In America?
Yeah.
I'd like to see truth and justice.
Oh, come
and
on.
right now
Superman,
there are
tell me
lies.
what
You're
you want to
pushing
say.
the lies. What do you
want to
about?
see?
You
What's
push
your
lies
agenda?
every
What's your
day.
agenda? You want a racially pure country? Is that what you want?
You don't see it at all.
Do you want all the minority people to leave the
It
country?
doesn't matter what country it is, as long as they're racially...
Confront it.
Listen,
Confront
everybody
it.
deserves their own homeland, all right? Everybody deserves, every race, I don't care if you're white, black, red, whatever,
Jews are
deserves a
committing genocide
racially...
right now.
Listen, the Jews got Israel, they've got their racially pure state, and they're doing well by that. Whites don't have it, and we need it. We're dying out. By the year 2000, we're not going to be here anymore. We'll be the minority in this country. I know. Thank you. And that's you, too. And that's all your sons and daughters, so laugh it up. That's your culture and your race going down the drain. Fine. If that's what you want, fine. But we don't want it that way. We want our own land. And listen, it's the U.S. government that is the enemy of everybody here and not you.
What heritage are you?
I'm German, thank you.
You're German. I'm all German.
I'm Polish.
German and Irish. German and Irish.
He's a Christian. Excuse me.
I'm all...
Fellows, no. Yes.
You say we. Don't speak for us.
We're not speaking
We,
for
no,
you.
the gentleman in the center, I'm not even speaking to you. I'm speaking to the men in the center. You used the statement, we. You go and you find your own homeland. America was founded and put together by all races and all people from all over the world. And that is what we are, and we are one nation under God. And you are not, my son. You're not.
Well, then why don't we have a lot of non-white scientists and physicists, teachers, government officials? Why aren't they up there? If we're all equal and we're all going for the same base.
How come our country...
You got white guilt, lady. We don't want to associate with you. There's white people out there in TV.
We don't want anybody...
Your father, Tom, is one of the Aryan movement leaders. Is ex-KKK, right?
You did an interview with...
the California KKK.
Yeah, you did an interview with him, and he smashed you in the ground, by the way.
What'd you say?
Smashed in the ground. He didn't do too good. You lost your cool.
He smashed you in the ground?
Yeah.
You and your father together couldn't smash me in the ground. But I digress. I digress. How old were you when your father began preaching the racist line to you?
Racist, being proud of your heritage, racist. That's what I mean when I say racist. My father never forced anything down on me. I came from a racially conscious family. All the sisters I have, my mother and my father, many of my relatives, especially my family, they told me, they showed me, and a lot of it was just by experience. I went to public school. I didn't go to private school. I had just as much a chance to be convinced that I'm wrong now, but I'm not. There's literally thousands of people out there in TV land in the audience. You don't see them because they're not going to stand up now, that agree with a lot of what we're saying. You have to fit us in your agenda, no matter if you hate us or not.
That the United States has to be a racially pure country? Who believes in that?
A lot of people. I get calls every day. Thousands of people are writing me shows.
There are only 1,500 skinheads in the whole country.
Oh, well,
says who?
Throw your figures
Says the ADL. You listen to them again?
Let's talk equality and the ADL. Okay, so we say blacks and whites are equal, okay? What about the Jews, okay? They're supposedly the self-proclaimed chosen people. Well, wouldn't you say that's one step above equality? So wouldn't you say that they have a much better chance at making it in this country than anyone else? Yes, they do.
This is the land of opportunity.
They own the media.
How come all of our taxes have to pay to support Israel?
Bob, how old are you?
20.
What do your parents think about your activities?
20. They don't.
Your parents don't like what you do.
Half the people in this audience are
They don't. They're embarrassed by you, aren't they?
No, they're not.
They're embarrassed by what you do.
I can name as many.
No, they're not.
They're not?
Well, you can't hear me? What's the problem?
Henry Kissinger.
It hurts, sinus pressure and headache. It really hurts. Sinutab combines the painkiller and Tylenol with the decongestant and Sudafed to give you more than either one alone. It stops the pain. Sinutab stops the pain.
Ready?
In a minute, honey.
It's nice to be noticed for what you wear and how you look. And if you wear dentures, it's nice to know Efferdent freshens up dentures and cleans away stains so well. With Efferdent, all they'll notice is you.
So you think you've seen it all in pasta? homemade pasta dishes from Stouffer's.
Geraldo. We'll be back in a moment.
Good evening. Tonight on News 21 at 6. Today we mark Veterans Day. We'll take you to a ceremony at Riverfront Park. David Collins introduces us to a veteran who helps out others, including the widow of a World War I serviceman. And Jen Powers has the story of a Franklin County home for children of vets, a home that is seeing tough financial times. In sports, what impact will the Impact have here at home? We'll have a live report. Jim Buchanan has some good news if you're headed to the holiday parade. Join us for News 21 coming up at 6.
We start with a carefully selected hen. We feed her our special diet of healthful grains to make the perfect egg. An egg with rich, full flavor and 25% less cholesterol. Souders Penn Dutch eggs. All the flavor, less cholesterol, no extra cost. The egg you've been waiting for.
The best to you from Souders.
The mind is like any other muscle. You don't use it, you lose it. That's why you should work out with Jeopardy. I can't think any harder. You hit the buttons, you question a few answers, and in no time you're kicking around people with twice your intellect. Who is Beethoven? Oh, sure. It's a challenge. What is Cleveland? But hey, no pain, no brain. Who is Pinocchio?
Weeknights at 7:30 on Channel 21.
Long John Silver's, a name with 3 words, presents our 3-piece band in 3-piece suits to announce our 3-piece fish dinner that right now is only $3.49. Which begs 3 questions. Do people love our 3-piece fish dinner because of the original secret batter, the hand-filleted North Atlantic cod, or the low price of $3.49? Well, we say it's all 3. So let's hear it for Long John Silver's 3-piece fish dinner for $3.49. Ready, guys? A 1, a 2...
I have more questions to address to our 3 panelists, but before I do, let me introduce 2 more guests. First of all, Roy Ennis. He is the chairman of the Congress of Racial Equality. He feels that our country is being embarrassed by these racists. Sitting next to him, Rabbi A. Bruce Goldman, the president of the Center for Jewish Living. He says that these racist groups are being run by pathological misfits. And in that line, Bob Hike, before I get to our 2 new guests, you know, we got this right from your writing. Do you not believe, sir, that Adolf Hitler and the Nazis were heroes?
What's that from my writing? Please tell me what you're talking about.
Do you answer the question, please?
Heroes?
Yeah.
They, yeah, I guess, yeah, sure. They took up a struggle.
So cut through the bull. Yes, you do.
Yeah. In 10 years, they did what the party, the National Socialist Party in Germany, did something that no one else has ever done. In that time, they turned an entire economy around and created a state that was, you know, unparalleled.
And wiped out, almost wiped out a race of people.
What about Joseph Stalin? The 30 million people
wiped out a race of people.
You can't put the supposed 6 million on Adolf Hitler, man, because Joseph Stalin,
you can't?
JFK,
you can't? The Holocaust, did it happen, Bob Hike?
Does it matter?
How many? Does it matter?
There's 30 million people.
Does it matter?
Jews in the Ukraine that died. It was killed by Joseph Stalin, the man who was responsible for putting the Nuremberg trial.
Rabbi Goldman.
Rudolph Hess
Rabbi Goldman.
Put him away for 30 years and
he says it doesn't matter. He says the Holocaust doesn't matter. Should we be frightened by his appalling ignorance? Or should we be angered?
30 million
Shut up!
people, man.
Or should we be angered by it?
Good man. No, here's a good man.
Shut up. Go ahead.
This is the same kind of talk that we had over the war in Vietnam when we counted bodies. An atrocity is an atrocity, whether it's 1 life, or 300,000, or 3 million.
Top of the list.
Let me tell you how I first understood the meaning of the Holocaust. It was incomprehensible to imagine 6 million or 30 million slaughtered by the Russians under Stalin. He's correct. Okay. Until one day, sitting at the Eichmann trial in 1960 in Jerusalem, as a young rabbi, as a human being, I tried to figure out what is 6 million. Until I heard a woman describe how a man named Adolf Eichmann ordered a young Nazi SS Gestapo lieutenant to take her child from her breast she was nursing and take that child and swing it by the feet against a brick wall as the brains poured out onto its mother's breast.
Hiroshima, Dresden, 60 million.
All war is genocide, man. Face
Shut
up
up.
to it.
Shut up.
You're
And listen,
total.
and listen.
Let him finish, please. Let him finish.
I'm getting tired of it.
Let him finish. I'm tired. You're tired. Shut up.
I then multiplied that incident by 6 million. And if that had been the only event perpetrated by racists, bigots, and people who hate each other, there is one thing that I've understood,
More sympathy there,
both in the area of what I call ethnic therapy, ethnotherapy, I am, interracial, interreligious activities in which I listen to people intimately discussing their personal feelings involving racism and everything else in interpersonal relationships. The one thing that I've always noticed to be the case is I've never met a racist who loved himself or herself.
Roy Innes. Michael Palish of the Skinheads of the National Resistance says that our country has been National White Resistance. Our country has been invaded by the Hispanics, raped and deceived by the Jews, and maligned and fornicated on by the blacks. Should we respond with anger or with sympathy?
I came here prepared to be very angry, but I feel very good because I see a cross-section of Americans here, and they're in good shape.
You say they're in good shape, but it's not.
The fact that this ad hoc cross-section of America understand that these guys are immature clunks and should be
I have a lot of
ignored,
people who beg to differ with you.
you know, make me feel very good.
He doesn't have an argument. That's what he's trying to tell you guys.
One argument, that was very simple. You're a bunch of young clunks that are trying to grab every bit of media because you know in certain elements in America, racism pays well. You want to be racist.
They called us. Believe me.
What? Wait.
Sunlight is the best disinfectant. I believe that. Just like roaches, when you turn the light on, you go and scurry.
Yeah, but you don't...
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
When you need to deposit a check but not invest a lot of time. When the gas gauge says empty, and so does your wallet. And when Dad's big ideas are bigger than his billfold, a whole new way to keep money in hand. Mac, the new color of money.
Hello. Mr. Heart of the Restaurateur. Oh, we're cool. Always. You want to renew our contract.
Immortality.
Oh, check it out! Announcing the big, plush, bendable California raisins at Hardee's. Only $2.19 each with a purchase of hash browns or dessert.
We're out to win you over.
So the boy fell asleep in the Toys R Us store. And he woke up with toys from the ceiling to the floor.
Play School's Express Train. Designed for preschoolers, it's easy to put together, easy to play with. Let your child be the engineer with the Play School Express Train. Just $69.99 at Toys R Us.
Love growing up with my Toys R Us kid. Toys R Us. You'll never outgrow us.
We are the Giant Family, and we're big on helping you. We brighten up your shopping day. Quality's the Giant way. We're big on savings, Giant. Big on sharing, Giant. Big on freshness, Giant. Big on caring, Giant. And we're especially big on you.
Focus, young hate mongers. Let's take some audience questions.
I was curious. They're awfully young. They are very media slick. They know how to bait, and they use words that they've been trained in. I also am not that upset. What my question is, I think that they're quite ignorant. I'd like to know their education.
Take your ignorant. Take your materialistic
what's your
attitude and go
what's your
back to
educational
home
background?
and lock it up.
Did you finish high school?
Materialism
Or?
isn't going to do anything for
What's your education? Let's start with you.
Went through high school. I had a working background. I worked all through high school. 7 years of baseball, 2 years all-star. Came from a good family. I'm an electrician.
What's your educational background, Bob?
I took the GED and got out when I was 14.
Okay, Michael, what's your education?
I graduated from high school and I'm a layout and design artist.
A land design artist?
Layout and design.
Layout and design.
And an ex-con.
Are you an ex-con also?
Not an ex-con. Are you out of your mind?
Yes, you are, Michael. Why'd you tell him the truth?
Hey, I got no convictions, man.
I have to go to court tomorrow. That's true, but I'm not an ex-con. And I don't.
What do you charge?
You could take a drug test and you wouldn't see any needle.
What do you charge?
Oh, drugs have nothing to do with it.
What do you charge?
I'm not an ex-con.
Rabbi, what's he
my
charged?
resume here, it won't say I'm an ex-con. I was thrown out.
He was arrested for a felony.
A felony. Wait, hold it. Here we are. Question.
And reportedly served time for felony.
I'd like to know if you're so...
You wouldn't remember anyway.
If you have true belief in your convictions and your movement is as good and as powerful as you say it is, why are you afraid to let other people speak? Why are you not like other minorities and allow other people to pursue whatever happiness they find in whatever religion they find, whatever color they happen to be? You don't let anybody answer a question, and if you don't have a question like this lady over here, you tell her to shut up. What are you afraid of?
The reason why I do that is because I get sick and tired of hearing the sob stories from kikes. I get sick and tired of seeing Uncle Tom here sucking up trying to be a white
Go ahead, Troy, go ahead. Now, let me tell you. Hey, you gotta kick. You gotta kick. You gotta kick. Hey, hold it. Hold it. Sit down. The crew members' names. The space station commander, a surprise choice, Lucy Van Pelt.
One small step toward becoming a queen.
The space station operator who has flown more missions than anyone else on the crew, Snoopy.
Paz, a 5-passenger front-wheel drive family sedan that comes fully equipped and goes for...
Taste our flame-grilled salmon. Delightful. Taste our flame-grilled swordfish. Delicious. Taste our flame-grilled haddock. Mouth-watering. Taste the country oven seafood grilled over open flames. Seafood doesn't get more succulent, more flavorful than this. Country Oven tonight in Linglestown.
News 21 is the place to be.
From the state capitol and around central Pennsylvania, the News 21 team has the news that affects your life. An award-winning group of journalists and photographers brings you the latest news with live reports in a clear, concise, and fair manner, unmatched in local TV news. When you need to know, News 21 is the place to be. At noon, 6 and 11, News 21 is the place to be.
Madam, one mustn't eat popcorn in a concert hall.
I would never do that.
Pretzels, potato chips, that sort of thing.
I would never do that.
What are you eating?
Stella D'Or breadsticks.
Breadsticks?
Light, delicious, fun to eat.
Madam, please hand over the breadsticks.
No, I would never do that.
Oh, my favorite. Sesame.
Stella D'Or breadsticks. They're not just for meals.
Only slightly the worse for the wear. We're back. The skinheads have been, well, the racist skinheads have been cleared out of the building. Roy, Ennis, and I must admit I feel the same way. It was just too much. The kike remark was just too much. Rabbi, I'm just a half...
Do you remember when George Bush accused Mike Dukakis of being a liberal? What Mike Dukakis should have said is what I'm going to say to you. He should have said, Ich bin a liberal, and told him what it meant. Ich bin a kike. I am part of a tradition of 5,000 years of justice and compassion. I am part of a people who produce every single year 50 to 80% of all the Nobel Prizes in the world. I am part of a community of 1.8% people of the population of the United States that produces theater and art and sculpture and music and culture that is enjoyed by 98% of the American population.
Roy,
Ich bin a kike. Let me tell you what a Nazi looks like. I looked at Adolf Eichmann and I said, what does a Nazi look like? You know what a Nazi looks like? He looks like our uncle. He looks like our neighbor next door mowing the lawn. He looks like our accountant. He looks like our lawyer. He looks like our father, and he looks like our brother. He can have a shaven head or he can have long hair. He can wear a three-piece suit and run a campaign that requires 8 people to be removed a month before a U.S. election for having 8 Nazis. 8 neo-fascists, of which several of them have been accused of killing 100,000 Jews.
Okay, calm down. Okay, that's enough.
Calm down.
Right, good, good, I'm not.
You've never seen me when I'm not calm. I am perfectly calm.
Roy Innes. They say, let me just say this. Sticks and stones who break my bones, but names can never hurt me. But that name hurt us both.
Yeah.
Why were you motivated to stand that way?
Because this is beyond just the Nazi problem. It's a problem of increasing and growing indecency in America among certain hoodlum types who believe they've got the constitutional right to verbally assault. That's the word. Verbally assault people. I stand here today as a message to all the hoodlums, black, white, pink, Martian or otherwise. I would not stand idly by and have them abuse me verbally. All right? Assault me verbally. And more than that, I would not allow them to assault anybody else physically or verbally. I was very much hurt when I saw the television and heard about the gentleman's Bill's problem here with these skinheads.
The family that was
And let me
beaten.
tell you, I think my rage was more for you than for myself, for what they did to you. And I will hope that you will call on me if you ever have any trouble with these guys.
That's what I wanted to ask them the question, because they come from the same, the people that we had the incident with were from Pennsylvania. And it just goes to show you how violent, like the man in the middle shows you how his temper is very sharp. He goes right off, no ifs, ands, or buts. So it goes to show you how it went off down where it happened with us. Because I would submit it to the wrestlers, and even at the end, after the incident happened, the guy grabbed me by my neck and told me, wouldn't it be easy just to join us in the beginning?
Yeah. Intimidation.
And it goes to show you that there's no doubt in my mind they would have done something to her and the baby.
That's right. And if more people stand up the way you did and I did, these hoodlums will back off.
That's the point. Hold it. That is the point. Listen. The main thing that Roy Innes said is something that I hope everybody in this country heeds. When someone calls someone a name, When someone attacks someone in a subway because they don't follow their particular belief, then it's not just the responsibility of the person attacked. It's not just the responsibility of the person being mugged. It's all our responsibilities. Ich bin
a kike.
But that's just like John Kennedy said, Ich bin Berliners at the Berlin Wall in 61.
John Kennedy.
Ich bin ein kike, all of us.
No.
We'll be right back.
Ich bin a Berliner.
You know, the problem may not be your phone, but your long-distance phone company. Switch to Sprint. Get the best sound quality and save as much as 10, 20, even 30%.
Put the power of an upright in the palm of your hand with the Royal Dirt Devil. It has a revolving brush, and it can handle all kinds of dirt. Pick up the handheld vac that really picks up. Dirt Devil by Royal.
Anything new about Bisquick?
Well, yes and no.
Same great homemade taste?
Yes.
Happy kitties?
Yes.
Happy families?
Yes.
Cholesterol?
No.
New Bisquick.
Now with no cholesterol.
Geraldo. We'll be back in a moment.
Good evening, I'm Gene Lepley. These are some of the stories we've been working on today. We'll show you some Veterans Day ceremonies, and we'll meet one vet who's doing what he can to help other less fortunate veterans and their families. An Erie congressman has been mentioned as a possible cabinet secretary in a Bush administration, plus Leroy Zimmerman and William Althouse may also be on their way to Washington. The State Museum sends off its famous mural of the Battle of Gettysburg. The Hershey Impact have their home opener soon. We'll have a live report and expect a sunny day tomorrow, a rainy one on Sunday. Join us at 6.
Oh, to be a Twinkie, to be America's favorite snack cake. But then it gets a little lonely at the top. And so Hostess introduces new fruit and cream Twinkies. Sensation! Real strawberry swirled inside its creamy middle. Irresistible.
Oh, what a sweet sensation!
Original Twinkies, and now new fruit and cream Twinkies, because 2 is always better than 1.
Sweet sensation!
Dixie, I want you to meet some of the nicest people in the world from People's Drug.
Annie, you brought the store with you?
You remember the pharmacist who always answers your questions?
And saves me money with generics.
And the nice clerk.
Who show me special savings all over the store.
And the photo clerk.
Great pictures, great price. Where's the rest?
Always close by. Is this convenience or what?
People's Drug.
The convenience you want.
The savings you deserve.
With Pizza Hut Pairs, now 2 delicious medium pan pizzas bubbling with cheese, just $10.99. Add toppings, $1.29 each, covers both pizzas.
Making it hot, making it twice, getting it fast and loving the price.
Now America's favorite pizza is making a great deal. 2 medium cheese pan pizzas, only $10.99. Add toppings, $1.29 each, covers both pizzas.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
It strikes me that some of our audience may be fairly traumatized by what happened here. Here's a lady. Now, where are you from?
I'm California.
And what do you think?
Well, I was in the back, and I moved forward just to maybe get out of here, but... I mean, this is my first day in New York, and...
But what do you think about what you heard?
Well, I had no idea what the difference between them and them. When they all came in, I had no idea what they wanted out of us. And,
Is it frightening?
so shook up.
Yeah. So where are you from?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
So what do you think?
I'm shook up also. I'm kind of scared, but, you know, talking with these people in between the breaks and stuff, they're very nice. And it's like, I look at them and I look at those other people. Now, those other people, they're against everything, but they're clean, okay? But these people, no offense, okay? But I would be more afraid of you if I met you on the street than I would be of them. No. And you're very nice.
You know, that is interesting. But is that one of the dangers of the Nazis, that, as the rabbi said, they look just like you and I? Okay, now, all right, let's get this. You guys are, stand up. You guys are not Nazis, right?
No, not at all. In fact, I want to make a clear point right now. It's not just skinheads that are involved in this. For example, as you might have guessed from the length of hair, I am not a skinhead. I'm involved in an organization called the Anti-Fascist Front. This man here is involved in an organization called Skinheads Against Racial Prejudice. This man over here is involved in an organization called the Anti-Fascist Skinhead League. Now, I want you all to know, we put our necks out on the line by coming here and being on TV, because there is a lot of problem between the skinheads. And an important point that needs to be made, a great misconception on the part of the media, people are playing up on these Nazi skinheads. The Nazi skinheads, particularly in New York, the white power skinheads, are a minority among the skinheads, and they are treated as a minority, and every now and then they're reminded that they're a minority.
But wait a second, how can the public tell the difference between a good skinhead and a bad skinhead? You hear more about the bad than you do the good.
Well, I mean, we can tell the difference, basically by the appearance. And you can see, like, if they're wearing a white power symbol, if they're wearing a Nazi symbol, it's obvious, you know. It's really hard. There is no way people on the outside can really tell.
What is a skinhead? Why do you shave your head?
I just believe in the lifestyle.
And what is the lifestyle?
Just working class and being involved in what's going on around you, simply. That's my opinion. I mean, but there's 11 different factions of skins. You have scooter skins, you have gay skins, communist skins, socialist skins. There's no real one group that you can pin down and say, well, this is skinhead.
Well, basically, we should go back to the origins of skinhead, which was in the 60s. It was a working class movement, and it was not racially biased at all. The original skinhead music was soul and reggae and ska. They were highly influenced by the West Indian blacks. So it was not racially motivated until the 70s, when it was sort of revived and it was altered and distorted. And then, so that's why you have the factions. And there have always been factions, and there have always been clashes between the two main, which is what you've seen tonight.
Well, what happened? Where did it go bad? Where did the racial thing start happening? Well, was it the parents? He says, you know, Mr. Stump here. Wait a second. There's probably a lot of I consider you like every man. You know, you were victimized in this thing that happened to you on the train by the skinheads, the racial skinheads. But what's your opinion of this? Here you're raising this beautiful little daughter, 2 months old, almost caught up in the violence. What do you think about this as a parent?
Well, meeting these guys here, you know, when I first came in, I didn't know. As I said to one of them before, how can you tell the difference? I mean, because the ones that we encountered, you notice they was like the same. This is the type of reaction that we received, so you can imagine. So it goes to show you what they would have done if they did get their hands on the baby. So it goes to show you. I mean, the obvious is right there. You see the man in the middle, how violent he got, how mad he got. I mean, you seen his temper jump off like that. So now you can see what I was saying, because I wasn't involved or refused, and I wasn't going to take it. You can imagine now how I had to go through.
Okay, sit down, everybody, sit down. I want to talk to Roy. Hold it. Roy. Hold it. Is racism, and I don't know what the equivalent is in anti-Semitism, or all the other anti-religion, they're against Catholics too, for all I know. Is that on the rise in your perception?
No, it's not. But before that, let me say this, in reference to the question about the dress. Keep in mind, the Nazi brown shirts were spit and polish in Germany. Don't go by spit and polish looks. These are decent kids here from what I can discern. These are bums. These were spit and polish brown shirt bums. Some of the biggest criminals and dope pushers got the prettiest cars and the prettiest clothes. All right? So be careful about that.
All right, now what about the question of racism and anti-Semitism?
No, it is not on the rise. I think the media is saying this, and it's unfortunate. The leaders are hustling this, all right, for their own good. The plain fact is, America is less racialistic today than at any time in the history of the country.
Let me ask, I hope that's true with the bottom of my heart, but let me ask maybe a tougher question for you, Roy. Do you think that black radicals, people like Sharpton and Maddox and Mason and Farrakhan, do you think that they help exacerbate? Oh, there go the fellows. I guess they're being arrested. Oh no, they're not being arrested. I don't want them. I just want them out of town. They're just a bunch of punks. Just a bunch of punks. Let them go. The boys in blue. New York's finest hustles them out of here. Well, good. They're not getting arrested. All right, so I don't care. Being escorted out of here.
Geraldo, look.
Good. Hold it. Let me just get this answer, please.
What you were doing is the proper thing, all right? I'm sure the difference. You allow them to be heard. You don't censor them, and that's good. Because they're fool, they will, you know, self-destruct. But at the same time, you make certain that I'm here. The rabbi is here. This very decent gentleman is here. These young folks are here. In other words, you give equal time to another point of view. The problem of the impression of increasing racism is a certain irresponsible element in media is given a disproportionate amount of time to the Sharptons, the Maddocks, the Masons, and the haters, and the skinheads. That's the problem.
Okay. Light is the best disinfectant. We'll be right back.
This long row of junkers is no match for Ford's Bigfoot. But here's a real test. Can a regular Ford 4x4 drive over it carrying a Chevy and towing the 14,000-pound Bigfoot? The Ford starts clawing over the jagged metal with a Chevy on board and towing Bigfoot. Ford is the only pickup with 4 choices of multi-port fuel-injected engines that give you the power you want when you need it. Yes, the Ford triumphs over the twisted junker. Save over $3,000 on manual transmission F-Series trucks at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Is it a challenge to keep things neat and clean at your home? Now, Jewel Core brings you the Bissell Carpet Machine Plus. You can own your own machine and clean carpets, upholstered furniture, your car, and so much more. The Carpet Machine Plus shoots warm cleaning solution, while powerful suction pulls out liquid and dirt, yet it won't soak carpet or upholstery. Clean your entire home anytime you like and get professional-looking results. Own a Bissell Carpet Machine Plus. Only $149 now at Jewel Core.
The reviews are in, and movie critics everywhere are eating up Mystic Pizza. 2 thumbs up declare Siskel and Ebert. Some of the brightest new faces in film, absolutely enchanting, applauds sneak previews Jeffrey Lyons. Fresh, funny, and winning raise the New York Times, and audiences agree.
I loved it.
It was just pure enjoyment.
It was great. 10 plus. Definitely a 10.
Experience Mystic Pizza, rated R.
Now playing at a specially selected theater near you.
Well, where is everybody?
What's the problem?
I asked everyone to bring in their donations today for our Warm Hands, Warm Hearts project, and nobody's here.
What was it we were supposed to bring in?
Hats, scarves, gloves, and mittens for kids, new or used but in good condition. I really thought everyone would pitch in and help.
Liz, look behind you. Surprise!
You too can help bring your donation to our collection center at the West Manchester Mall in York this Saturday from 11 to 3.
Okay, we're back. Our focus has been young hate mongers. We're almost out of time. Yeah.
I just wanted to say we should all be proud of our race. We should all fight for our race. And our race is the human race. Bottom line.
All right. Well said. Well said. Rabbi, you've got 20 seconds for some final thoughts.
William Stump is here because he's a victim. I'm here because you invited the Nazis, as other media have, to give them a forum in America. You have taken pipsqueaks, racist, not one complete sentence out of any one of them, except hate. Not one complete sentence, and you gave them a national forum.
But at least he allowed the other point of view to be heard.
I am more concerned that you do a show on this.
Nazis. More
Nazis. The new Nazis, the new right, and the Reagan administration. Right here.
This is, here, let me get Tony.
This is the fear right here.
What do you think, Tony?
I think that we don't have to worry about people like this because all they're doing is breeding hate. And we don't hate in here. But they'll all be in jail within 10 years. We don't have to worry about people like this. They'll be in jail. Who do we worry about?
After they've killed how many people?
I don't think we have to worry about anybody.
How many more
people
victims?
Like this? I think we all love each other as brothers and sisters.
The key is don't let them polarize us.
That's it.
Don't let their hate polarize us.
Can I hold that, baby?
Let me take this little piece.
Oh. Yeah, I don't bleed on the baby. Here. Okay, this is the future, folks. This is like the lady said back there, I'm proud of the race of this baby. This baby belongs to the human race. And I hope she can grow up in a world that doesn't have hate mongers. And if they do, I hope the majority of people fight against them. Thank you.
services have been furnished to the Geraldo Show in exchange for these announcements. Hotel accommodations in New York City provided by the Omni Park Central in mid-Manhattan near Carnegie Hall, Central Park, and Broadway theaters. Call 800-THE-OMNI or 212-484-3300.
Tune in tonight at 7 and 7:30 for back-to-back game show favorites.